Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the stream, or the live, whatever you want to call that, or this. Today, like the last time, we are continuing our research of the knowledge graphs. This article, obviously not written by me, but yes, contains valuable information about retrieval augmented generations, which I am working at the moment. I hope I am audible. That's I'm going to see. I'm not sure what's wrong with my mic. It is audible, but the quality decreased so much.
Testing. Okay, sorry for the muted session. I've got like so many mics and I forgot which one was my default one. Okay, so everything is in order. It's already 7 minutes. Taken a lot of time. Let me test my audio one last time and we can get back to it. All right. Yeah, okay. It is fixed, at least better. Right. Okay, so I was going through a lot of things, and yeah, I finally managed to produce some of the knowledge graphs that I was doing. Well, the trick was to use the first one that I've used. Uh, yep, okay. Yeah, you guys only need to see the code. These are the two links or references where I have taken the code from. One is this one, it's on the right, and the other one is on the visual docs of the llama index. Just to get you going with the code. Just to explain you the code in a very fast manner. What I'm trying to do is to produce knowledge graphs from PDFs and using a specific LLM. The LLM that I'm using is my university's LLM, which was trained by my supervisor. It uses it's in the format of an OpenAI, so I'm using the OpenAI. But going through the code from the beginning is first importing OS, and so that I can import all of the necessary keys and the base URLs from the environment folder. Then like importing all of the necessary packages specifically from llama index. Well, this one reads the directory stated in the name. It's a directory reader, so the main thing that you guys need to keep in mind that llama index provides these kind of packages so that you don't have to read the specific documents other way, or like not in another way. So it's simply simple directory reader, and it has the method of load data to load all the PDFs inside the PDF PDF folder or directory. Let me just make it bigger for your convenience. So reads the documents from a directory, creates a knowledge graph index. This is just a graph store. Most probably this is a vector store. Maybe, not sure, but it stores the graph. There are other graph stores. If we just let's see, llama index, not docs. Let's go to the core graph stores. Yep. Here, I believe. Okay. You see, there is these are the graphs. Oh, you cannot see that. Apologies. So they support different graphs. Like I heard about Neptune, Neo4j Nebula. There's also the simple one that I'm using. So these are all like vector graphs. So also like I'm assuming that the simple graph store is also vector DB. So yeah, I'm importing the simple graph store to store the graphs. Then getting the OpenAI client from the Llama index, settings for the OpenAI client, I'm assuming, because I'm setting the LLM here and also the chunk size here. The, let's go into the settings more so that I can find more parameters to use because there might be other parameters where the chunking is actually dependent on. Let's go. Okay, so the settings has the LLM feature, OpenAI embedding, the embeddings include it has the include embeddings here. Embed model, the embedding model is used to convert text. I cannot see that, right? Okay, bring it here. Okay, So the embedding model is used to convert text into numerical representation used for calculating similarities or the top K retrievals. This part confuses me because I know that the embeddings are used for the similarity search, but what I'm doing at this part is that I'm just creating the graph store, creating a storage context, and creating the knowledge graphs index using a storage context. This part confuses me because I'm not exactly using embeddings, because this is another way to create the knowledge graphs index where I can say that the include embeddings equals true. So maybe by default the include embeddings are not there. We can only know by going to the documentations. Creating. Okay. Oops, no. From documents. This may be old version of this documentation. What am I searching? I am searching for knowledge graphs index. Llama text knowledge graphs index. This is the only thing that comes here. Is there any not API references? Let's see. The knowledge graphs index is from llamaindex.core. Come on, how to chat embeddings in indexes? Base index, knowledge graphs index. Okay, yeah, this is the one that I'm using. So default, what I am searching for is embeddings, include embeddings. Default is false, so I can specify embeddings to be true, but what could the I need to ask my supervisor if there's a specific error that I'm facing at the moment. Firstly is that this part, it throws a rate limit error if I use the embeddings, which is a bummer. It says that the quota limit of the LLM has been reached or exceeded, something like that, and it is setting me a rate limit, so I cannot get the knowledge graphs from like using this include embeddings. So I can only assume that this part is not using the embeddings at all. If I have to know for sure, I have to go back like deep into the documentation and into the code find out. Knowledge graphs based on PY. Sort triplets. Property retrieve a tick mapping of the from it was knowledge graphs from documents, right? Where is it? From documents, knowledge graph index. Extracting triplets and leveraging the KG during query time. Oh, this is actually confusing. So initial thought process, this is not using the embeddings. It's just storing. What does it say here? Include whether to include embeddings in the index, default to false. So the knowledge. Are there any specifications? Okay. Building a KG by extracting triplets and leveraging the KG during the query time. Okay, this is the arguments. Okay, I don't need the index class, the init, the optional embedding model, optional base embedding model. Let's go into the code because we have time to understand. Okay, let's think this through. We need to generate knowledge graphs. Do we need embeddings? Because as far as I know, it is using LLM. That's for sure. It's not generating embeddings. It's a long. Okay. I think we can figure this out. Let's see. So what we are currently searching is embeddings. So this is the embedding model that is being used. Okay, this is not going to cut it. I need to find this in a GitHub repo. No. Okay. Embedding model, storage context, I don't need it. Include embeddings is normally false, but it does have the embedding model. Okay, let me, yeah. 14. Okay, the first one is the embedding model here. And then it's specifying the embedding model as the embedding model as the embedding model for settings. Settings. I also found the settings right here. Settings is a bundle of commonly used resources during the indexing and querying in the Llama pipeline application. You can use it to set global configurations. Now, transformation elements, embedding models. Okay. Okay. OpenAI embedding. How is it different? It's the LLM Llama index, LLMs of OpenAI. This is how you import embeddings of OpenAI embeddings. Okay, let's see how to do that. Also import it in the settings. So let's see, embeddings equals highly unlikely, don't you think? Because if you are sending the I don't think this will work. Yep. Yeah. Cannot pass in a model into another model. You need to specify specific things. Now, the question comes that the base URL of the OpenAI thinks is something like, let's put these here, and it works. Okay. Settings of max chunk size. I don't know if there is a chunk size, but settings of embedding model is something to write down as embeddings. Or let's call it embedding model. Not sure if it's using the embedding model, but let us go through it one by one. Embedding model is this, but embedding batch size. Batch size. I don't know that. Why would it need batch size? Okay. There's text splitters. There is chunk size, chunk overlap. Did not specify this. I believe this is important. Transformations, don't need it. Tokenizer, I don't think we need tokenizers. Another thing that I had was the settings or graph store. So we need that. Allow my index of code to settings, context window. Context window, maximum input size to the LLMs. Do we know this? I think it's on the chat. To 8,000 it features chat with PDF and up to 32,000 sorry, to 32,000 context length. Okay. Do I need the context windows? It's not 4,000, it's more than that. It's just here. Not sure if we're doing it correctly. We're just setting it up. That's why it's not showing me any errors. Index is a vector store index from documents embed model. This is something that we can use. It has the embed model from the vector store indexes, but what we are using is knowledge graph indexes. So if we compare here, not here, this one, that it has vector store index for us as a knowledge graph index from documents, it has the parameter of embed model. We need to search. There is a parameter called embed model of the KG. I don't think so. Just has include embeddings true or false. Max object like script. Okay. It has, but it is optional parameters. It's not referenced here. Graph store is the only thing that's required here. Optional embedding model equals to. Okay. What we can try now is having an embedding model here as, let's see what they did. It's just the embed model. Embed model is from this is confusing because this settings dot embed model, and here's just embed model. Okay. So first test, trying out with the embed model. Restarting everything. that's not something to start with. Setting up the LLM at the settings, loading the PDF. No, but rather this one. Let's see. It's going to take some time. It always does. But we can only hope that it's not using it's not producing any errors. And if it does not produce any errors, the next thing we are going to use is this part, because that has the rate limit error, which confuses me again. Okay, so where were we in here? So we have the embedding models equals to none. Just put this on a different so that I can see it. Okay, so the embedding model is normally none. There is also include embedding, which is in default, which is false. Embed model is the embed model, or embed model for the settings or context settings. Okay, got it. Retriever. LLM the self.llm. Interesting. LLM or LLM from settings or context. So normally I shouldn't have even said that the embedding model, because it is getting it from the okay. But it should do it automatically, or it should not, because I've this is the confusing part. Okay, it did its thing. So let's me example specified embed model. Okay, let's view the graph. Huge lists. Graph seems working and everything's fine. So I'm not sure. So the question still remains if we are using the embedding model at all. So now the part that we were waiting for is here. Let's see. I did cook on another side. Absurd. If include embeddings, or if not, self.embedding, set embedding, so set embedding. Get text embedding triplets. This needs a lot of time to understand. We can only hope that the embeddings are being used. You see, the difference is something that confuses me, because I've got like 3 different like by changing. Okay, it did work without okay. So it did work without the rate limit error that we were facing. So let's see, the specify another thing, calling example of, what do you say, including true, not the ideal, but let's see, didn't load. It's loading because it's smaller graph. Again, confusing. This has a lot of nodes. This doesn't have a lot of nodes. Last test, about if I run the code again, do we get an identical graph? This is something that we need to test. How do you set? Is there any way you see the graph? This is, for example, this is the index that we're getting, and this is the graph network, and we're setting the graph. And this part of the code is just for displaying the graph. But to see the graph as a text or as like a CSV document, so that we can compare. Not sure if it's the way to go. Okay. Now test for if it generates the same thing again. Okay. Restarting. Getting the environment variables, getting the packages, setting up the LLM. No, not this one. This is the thing that's going to take the most time. 2. Not the best at naming things. I like this. Budget includes hotel costs, transportation tickets. Total costs equals 26 consists of 11 adults. I can assume that as temperature is 0, it might produce the same result. So saving the second graph, and let's see. Now it's loading. So these two graphs are nowhere similar. Embed true, embed model specified. Rather, this one has a lot of connections which are similar. This is not. So what do you think is the problem? So it has a randomness attached to it. We can only guess that there are what can I say? How to say this? Like each time I generate a new graph, generate the code, it produces different graphs. Yes, that's something that needs to be added into the report. Okay, I guess I am done with the reporting or the experiment that I'm doing, because I have produced knowledge graphs from this part. Oh yeah, another thing that I have to test is that with bigger documents, let's change. I'll keep this. Now I'll keep these because including embeddings, I hope this is better. This is just a thought process. And let's go to old PDFs for now, because there's a research paper with a lot more texts here. So I believe we'll be getting a bigger knowledge graph. If there's any other settings that we need to tweak, I don't know. But for now, I think we will be getting, okay, let's think this through. Firstly, we have a very big corpus of text. So big corpus of text meaning there will be more chunks. And the thing that I've specified, the parameters that I've specified is the max triplet per chunk is that I am getting 10 triplets per chunk, and in per chunk there are like this much tokens. I can assume that these are the number of tokens per chunk. So it has a lot of tokens, like each word is a token. And so dividing by the number of words by 512, we'll get the number of chunks, and each chunk multiplied, the number of chunks multiplied by 10, we'll get the number of triplets, meaning that will be the number of triplets. Yeah. So I can only assume, I can guess that we will be getting a bigger network, than bigger like knowledge graph. Okay, from the old PDF, this one, the data, the documents, the chunks are there. Okay, let's not put it in examples rather than research paper. Better knowledge graph. Yep. Fix the camera a bit. Too much. Yeah. Get that's done. No. I will just turn it up for a bit. The new teams. Make it a bit smaller. Yo. New slide. Do you call this a lot of nodes compared to maybe this one? Is there a setting that limits the number of Is there a setting that limits the number of nodes? That's what I'm thinking. Hi, Nick Few. How are you? How are you doing? What all we must know before diving into generative AI? Mm, you need to understand what AI is, basic AI models do. With basic AI models, I mean, I need to understand how neural network works, like deep learning. You need to understand how, well, on top of neural networks, you need to understand how convolutional neural network works. And on top of that, you need to understand how the transformer model works. Um, the famous paper is the attention is all you need. And after you understand transformers, you can understand how actual LLMs works, and that is the generative AI that we are talking about. Like, if more specifically, generative AI is any AI which generates stuff. So it can be the diffusion model, which generates images. Um, so that is also a generative AI. But in this context, that I'm working with LLMs at the moment, so and large language model is also a generative AI. So to understand generative AI, you need to understand like AI in the different levels of AI that there is. That's your answer to the question. Okay, can you explain what you're doing? Of course, yeah, I am trying to make produce knowledge graphs using LLMs from PDFs. So this right here is what you're seeing and is a knowledge graph. uh, this entire thing is a knowledge graph, which knowledge graphs is like entities which links and uh, showcases a knowledge, like how a specific item is connected to another item. Um, and I am trying to generate these kind of knowledge graphs automatically using LLMs from PDFs. Like, this is the PDF which has a lot of text, and this is the knowledge graph of the PDF. So I can convert, I can query specific things from the PDF if the PDF is too big, if we are using a knowledge graph. That's what I'm trying to do. And I am streaming from Germany. Okay, where are you guys from? Mm-hmm. India, yes. A lot of people watch my streams from India. My age, it's 28, soon to be 28 this October. So 27 now. Hard to keep track like these days because not really focused on that, getting old. Mm. That's mainly from a university, like my project thesis of my master's. So my supervisor told me to work with this at the moment and produce some result so that I can report back to him, and he will assess the situation, thinking that if if this is something to pursue. Mm-hmm. Mainly we're like trying to get the knowledge out of like big corpus of texts such as research papers, but the um, it's the results are not very promising because I'm using like two different uh, PDFs to search for it. For example, I can show you one of the PDF is a very simple PDF that I've made, doesn't contain much text here, but another PDF that I'm using is this one, obviously, which has a lot of text. But the knowledge graphs produced by the like knowledge graphs produced by this is the knowledge graph of the research paper. It's not pretty big, and also this is the knowledge graph of the small PDF that I'm seeing. I am using. So I expected this to be more like bigger because PDF has a lot of um, text, so a lot of chunks and everything. But it's not, the knowledge graph is not as big. So what currently I'm searching for is if there's a specific parameter that can increase the number of nodes in the knowledge graph. Can you speak Hindi? Yes, I can speak Hindi, not that well, because I am originally from Bangladesh, so not that good at Hindi, but I can, yes, speak Hindi. Mm, So let's go to the documentation back again. So what I'm using to generate these knowledge graphs is Llama index. I don't know if you guys heard about this. So using Llama index, there are specific uh, methods and functions of the Llama index which allows us to like which allows us to generate these kind of knowledge graphs. Okay, Nick Few says, "Well, I don't understand what you're doing." But okay, thank you. Well, you can stick around and try to maybe try to understand. It's um, if you're starting out with AI, it's an advanced topic that what I am currently doing. But if you stick around, you can ask me questions. I will try my best to make you understand uh, as far as I can, because it is like not what can I say? It's not an easy topic to understand in just one sitting. But if you have interest, you can learn it. No problem. Have you worked with Python or AI? Anything related to AI using maybe PyTorch or TensorFlow, deep learning stuff, or anything similar? Then it will create a good base for you to understand this. Something basic. Well, I have to understand like what basic means to you, because to a like experienced programmer, basic is something different, but a person who's just starting out, basic is just making them understand the programming language itself. So that's, I need to understand what your basic is. For example, this is just importing operating system package from Python. This is just reading a file. This is getting a few information from that file and storing them in a variable. Then these variables are used in a different function. These are kind of basic, at least to me, but someone who's starting out, this might not be basic for them. Next up is to create presentation. Separation experiment. Yeah, I know stock market. I have some investments here. Small investments, but yeah. Scalper. I don't know what that is. Sorry. Scalper. There's something related to the stock market. Okay. What does that do? Scalper. Investments. Okay. Cool. Like you do investment trading or something similar? Quick. Good for you. It's What do you want to know? So right now I'm just making a report for my meeting tomorrow. Mm, Thank you. So I'm just trying to make a presentation for my meeting tomorrow with my supervisor. So I'm just writing down the stuff that I have, like, so I'm writing those stuffs of the experiment that I did, the results. That's about it. And after I'm done with this, I might move on to making uh, deploying a specific model onto a server. You guys can stay up for that. It's almost 9 p.m. here. I'll go another hour or so. Just need to finish this first. Llama index graphs. I'm gonna take this. Serve these two modules. Let me decrease the size. I think the m of and this is Cosmos or something. Mm-hmm. These are failed experiments. Hmm. How do you learn this? Start with Python. Start with Python, learning the basics of that Python programming language. Then move on to mathematics because this AI is mainly mathematics. Uh, you can you can make a lot of things without knowing the specific mathematics, such as like calculus or linear algebra. Like you can make a lot of Python projects. You can get around with it, but the deep learning sector or AI sector requires you to like if you want to understand how the gradient descent or something like that, how the AI models are working, you need to understand mathematics, at least linear algebra and differential equations. Like, sorry, not differential equations, but calculus. So how to learn this? Learn Python first, the like programming language. Be good at Python, and then learn mathematics, understand linear algebra and calculus. Then you can dive into the AI. It's a long process. AI is a long process, but um, developing softwares does not actually require you to learn like deep mathematics like linear algebra or calculus. But AI does. Yes, AI is. Sorry about this. Yeah, it is. It takes some time, but it can be done. Because there's a lot of videos on YouTube, and everything that you want to learn about anything, it's free on YouTube, like completely free. You don't have to pay anyone to learn. You just have yourself and some motivations, and then you will be able to learn anything, practically anything for free right now. That's the world we live in. Yeah, everyone's like scared of maths, but uh, this is something that you just have to understand because that is what's separating you from others. If you are like, if there's like two, you and your friend, if your friend wants to learn math and gets good at it, and if you don't, then you're going to fall behind. That's what's separating it. Like if you're in a job interview with other people, and everything about you and the others are same, but one knows a bit more math, or not specifically math, but one knows a skill more than you, that person is going to get hired. So these are the specific small things that separates people. Turn on the lights. Just a minute. That is the light behind me. Yep. It's going to solve a bit problem. My life, I was born in Dhaka, did my bachelor's in Dhaka. Now I'm in Germany doing my master's. Simple life. Not too much hype. Not too interesting. Problem meaning problem in my life? Mm. This graph of triplets is stored with simple in-memory dictionary. Get triplets. Not applicable for this store. Get triplets. Relation map. Get what I'm currently what I'm searching for is like you see these graphs, but I cannot say for certain that this graph is bigger than this graph, like which graph is actually bigger. This is what I cannot say for sure. So what I'm trying to do is to get the vector that's to get the vector database in a form of text, so that in a form of CSV file, so that I can like practically compare and see that which one is actually like bigger. This is something that I want to do right now. So yeah, okay. So the way to do that is actually using a simple graph store. What I can do is to get triplets, get relation maps. Upsert is like adding and deleting. Persist, I don't know what persist is. Get the schema of the, don't need query, don't need the persist. Okay, I just need to get the relation or um let's search for it. Simple graph store to file, not CSV, it's a text file. Yep, this is something. Let's see. I think I can talk. Where to talk it? Solution saving knowledge graph and crew. Okay. Save knowledge graph index. You can use the persist method in simple store index. But this method is responsible for persisting. For persisting the index store to a file, here's an example how to do that. JSON is a path where you'll be saving a know if you don't provide a file system, the default for the file specific file, the persist method is the first check the directory provided 5, now creates the directory and open the file in write and dumps the index store data into the JSON format. The action implemented in is okay. It is actually provided into the not here, not here, not here, not here. Get to the persist that simple graph store into a directory. If that's possible. So how do we use that? There was this index store. Okay, so this should be the knowledge graph index. Writing in the extra files. Okay, it's not exactly path to a file, but let's say that research paper k knowledge graph. Okay, so the index doesn't have any. So it's not exactly the index, rather it's the graph store, which has the okay. Okay, that is a lot of things. Uses bump height influences reliability of the okay so okay cool. Let me do one for the PDF. Run this. Oops, no, not this one. Next one would be example. That should be the graph store. And lastly, what I want to test is with if there are multiple PDFs in the in one directory. Let's see, get triplet extract template prompt to use for extracting minimum number of triplets to extract. Storage context to use, graph store to use. Am I providing the graph store is in this context? Okay, cool. Okay, this is done. The next part is also done. And it is not how I wanted it to show. It is okay. Now I'm change presentation. Compared to JSON files and see which one is bigger. Yeah, let's import JSON. And okay. Get files as compared JSON file 1 and file 2. Okay. Sample number file 1 is actually this one. So let's copy the path. Okay. Not really. Research paper KG is bigger. Okay. There's a so it's also print bytes. So it has more bytes. Like it has double the bytes, but it has more context window. Okay. Now, experiment with two PDFs in PDF folder. So moving this and let's start. I need query embeddings. Let me copy everything from the start. I did that already. This is something that I want to do. Again, the graph store is being done. This might take a while. Okay, let's do it. Yes, two embeddings now. Let's create the graph PDFs. Also, let's see. Persist was that right? Okay, querying is something that we are not doing right now. And what I'm trying to do here is get the, let's just get the bigger file size. C file equals to JSON, print file is file just get size bytes and then create a knowledge report and then save it. Taking a long time, like longer than usual at least. I can see it because I have done it here and it took me 57 seconds with one PDF, and it just goes on 2.5 minutes and still going. So good thing that it's taking a long time. Index is not defined. Index is not defined exactly. Here, right? And it is more like it's like 15 megabytes, where this is just 10 megabytes. Just adding this with that. So let's do it. Okay. Do I expect to see a bigger knowledge graph? That remains to be seen. Let's see. Let's keep it here. Okay. Okay. So it is not. Where are my information for the interesting. This does not have any information related to the second PDF. Okay. Where did I get that? Yep. If I want to make two PDFs for testing, one is a research paper which has a very big graph text, very big context in terms of text. Another is a PDF file created by me for a trip to Facebook, which has a smaller, much smaller context. Hi, Elite Fusion 99. Did see you there. Thank you for being new to my channel. Drop a follow because I am new, so it will help. And how are you doing today? I just read your bio and recent development interest in AI and ML and computational math. Are you an expert in this field? I cannot say that I'm an expert in this field, but I am doing my master's in this field. And I have been working around 3-4 years training AI models and like working with AI. Working meaning not in terms of company working, but actually working like in my spare time and like most of the time. So cannot say as an expert, but I do have some knowledge to share. Yeah. Thanks for that. How are you doing today? Like, it's good to have someone in the Twitch chat. I have some people in the YouTube chat, but Twitch is very competitive. Uh, very hard. But I like stream on both sides. Really good. It's very nice results. You work in this field as well? What's your YouTube channel? Subscribe. Thank you. I will add this. Wait, I'll give it to you. Okay, here it is. I'll pin it. Yeah. Thank you, man. Really appreciate it. So, do you work in this field as well? I can assume that you have. You mentioned that you are interested in this field. Yeah, you are interested in ML, AI, computational math. Well, the AI is like uh, growing fast. It's a very uh, exploding field. I can only say that it's very exploding field. And I'm actually just graduated high school and college at this. I'm going to study computer science. Specifically, what? Computer science has become a very broad field. There is networking, cybersecurity, web development, AI, software development. Um, so yeah, uh, it's a very big field. Do you have any specific interest? I'm a bit biased towards AI, so I can suggest AI. It's a very growing field. There will be a lot of work for AI developers. It's just for computer science, but they teach you all the components just you mentioned and many more. Yeah, so it's just a general degree. Where are you from exactly? I'm assuming from the west, more west. I'm actually from Germany, so more west meaning the US Canada side. Or you can be also on the... Oh, Ireland. Nice. The closest to the Ireland I've been is UK. That was a long time ago in 2011. Good people like both. One thing that I can say that I like about Ireland is the accent, the Irish accent. Very like awesome to hear that. It's not exactly funny, but it's like it has some. You can actually feel the accent there, which I feel like the when I was little, the accent of the UK seemed strong to me, but when I heard like the Irish accent, it was like really good. I hope I'm not delaying the work. No. I enjoy talking. It's completely fine. Uh, it's fine. I can multitask, no problem. My work is actually finished. I'm just writing a report about my findings here. Um, assuming that as you're studying computer science, you know what knowledge graphs are. Like they're like graph databases. So I'm just creating those and making a report. Like these are graph databases, you know. Earlier, so a bunch of nodes and links. Yes, these are the graph databases that I was talking about. So I'm just generating graph databases from PDFs using large language models. For example, large language models like ChatGPT, not exactly using ChatGPTs because I have a specific private large language model from a university supervisor, which I'm using. So these knowledge graphs are like being produced by the large language models from PDF. So just just finished the experiment, just trying to write like writing the report now. It's just like the reports are a bit odd because uh, not to my expected, because you see like this is a specific PDF. It has a trip overview that I've written. It's just a few pages long, but it has some text inside of it. And I've got another PDF, which is exactly a research paper, which has a lot of text in it, like much, much more than what I've created, right? But two of the both PDFs, two of the PDFs are creating like generating knowledge graphs, but what how can I say that the size of the knowledge graphs are not consistent. For example, the smaller PDF that I've shown you is producing a knowledge graph which is just 5 kilobytes, 5.5 kilobytes, and the research paper is just double that, double of that. But actually, the research paper, the text of the research paper is much more. So that's not really understandable why that is. Is this a project collaborative or did you just your own? It's actually given to me by my supervisor of my master's while I'm doing my master's. So yeah, not my own project. It's but interesting to do. The 10 point what KB? This 10.4 KB, 10.4 kilobytes. So not very consistent. Combining, I've also did combining both PDFs and generating the knowledge graph is about 15. It was about 15.6. I got a huge interest in AI when I watched a video of some guy breaking down the Google paper. Yeah, I think it's called Attention is All You Need. Yes, this is a very important paper when it comes to the large language models. It's like revolutionized the the AI talking, like the open AI that everything that you're using at the moment. So oops. Control. Okay, yeah, that paper is very important. Like if you have time to read that, to understand it like fully, how transformers work and the attention modules work, you'll go a long way into like AI sector. It's a very important paper. like each of my professors during my bachelor's suggested me to look into it. I was mainly a student of like computer vision. Like my main focus was computer vision. So, um, but now the hype of LLMs, everyone was using LLMs. All of the researchers are funded for LLMs. So I just converted into like natural language. So uh, that paper is very important, very good, and very interesting as well. However, the combined, it doesn't. Okay. Any doesn't have any information about the smaller PDF. So we can assume that the entirety of the research paper is not expected. Expected is not expected. That's it. I didn't understand much, but there was interesting parts. Yeah. Well, the most important part that if you're like trying to go into AI, and the most important part, in my opinion, is to understanding linear algebra and differential equations, like not differential equations again, calculus and linear algebra in terms of mathematics, and in terms of programming language, Python is all you need. Python is enough. So if you understand linear algebra and calculus, you can understand most AI algorithms. So attention part is also like very like easy to understand. Then like I wanted to do a video in my YouTube channel about attention is all you need, but there's like so many of them already, um, good videos about that. So like I'm like, why do that? But again, it's very easy to understand once you understand um, mathematics behind it. Okay, so I am actually done with the report. It's not much of a report, but I will show this Python file tomorrow, as well as this presentation. That's about it. Okay, another thing that I have to do is to, okay, now for the another part of my project. Linear algebra, I heard that time. Do you know any textbooks on online resources so I can get started? Online resources for linear algebra. I highly recommend the channel of 3 Blue 1 Brown. I'll just write it there, 3 Blue 1 Brown. He can make you understand linear algebra really like good. He has a whole playlist of videos where you can understand how linear algebra actually works, and he explains it visually. So he's on YouTube, very good, like very good visual presenter of how mathematics is displayed. Uh, that is something that you can watch. Um, Another thing that comes top of my head, not really. Like if you watch his playlist and go through it, I think that will give you most fundamental basics of how linear algebra works. It's actually a very good channel. I assume that you use ChatGPT, right? At least you've heard of ChatGPT, yes. So this is a project that I was working on, creating something similar to ChatGPT. So it's not like it's not exactly ChatGPT. It's not using any of the things in ChatGPT, but it's using a large language model which was trained by our university. This is something similar to it. Like it's a bit slow, I guess, but it gets the job done. Yes, I need to improve it further, and where is it? Yeah, exactly. So it is a bit slow, but I need to improve it further. Uh, it has some minor bugs which needs to be corrected. What do you need about Chroma DB? Yeah. Mm. Meaning of live. Okay. Long text. So I asked here about Chroma DB because uh, this um, uh, this is the code behind the project, and this uses a database called ChromaDB to store uh, PDFs, because this is actually using the main feature of this app that my university professor wants is that I'm able to upload PDF files, and the AI can extract information and talk with this PDF files. For example, if I have added a cover letter of one of my jobs, and if I ask like, what can you tell me about the PDF? Let me see. Let's see how what it says. Hmm. Okay, so it's not exactly doing its thing. I'm sorry for the confusion, but the context of the period doesn't contain it. Consists of three identical copies of personal text related to job applications. So it has some flaws. Like I have definitely uploaded a PDF here, but does not say that I'm sorry. It says that I'm sorry about the confusion, and the context provided to me does not contain any PDF content. Um, Problem. But it does say that it consists of three identical copies of a personal context related to a job application. So it has understood that the PDF is of a job application. Um, can you tell me the name of the job applicant? Let's see if yes, it gets my name correctly here. Oh, which company is the job application for? Does not include information to job company. Okay, the only mention of the job applicant is in the chat history where the name is person. Okay. So yeah, I've also before this I've also uploaded the document of the Salzburg Community trip, the PDF that I've showed you earlier, and that was still being that is still inside of the database, and it's like extracting information that from that as well. So this is the problem that I'm want to fix, because what it's doing is as I'm uploading newer and newer documents, it is like aggregating the documents, and it's not deleting the past documents. So whatever question I'm asking, it's like referencing to all of the PDFs that I've uploaded. Even if I like launch this app, the database remains like intact, and it does not have like a ability to clear itself. So that is something that I have to change. But I don't think I'll be able to do this today. Okay, what's the time? It's 10 almost my place. So what I'm going to do now is stop the stream for today. Maybe tomorrow I can like do another stream where I like start with this project and try to configure it into the server and maybe solve the problem, like get to the root of the problem that I'm facing right now and solve the problem. This is something that I can do tomorrow. But for now, I guess this is over. So yeah, if you're there, Elite Fusion 99, this is goodbye for today. I hope we can chat again tomorrow or any in a future day if you can be here. All right, so goodbye everyone else.